We unpack the hard truths about mental health, dissect trending topics, and challenge the stereotypes and stigmas holding us back. From navigating the 6 dimensions of wellness to redefining social norms, this is more than a discussion. It's a revolution in how we care for our minds and souls. Ready for bold, honest conversations that spark change? Let's dive in. It's time for real talk with real impact.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another awesome and impactful episode of Girl Talk Mental Health, where we break down mental health in a real, relatable, and refreshing way. And I'm your host, Virginia Dale Manning, a licensed professional counselor supervisor, mental health advocate, and your go-to guide to all things mental health and wellness. And today we're unlocking one of the most hidden yet powerful influences on your mental health, your nervous system. If you're feeling stuck and stressed, constantly on edge, or battling burnout, your body's stress response might be working against you instead of for you. But the good news is you can train your nervous system to shift from chaos to calm. And joining us today is Danielle Young. She's a domestic violence survivor turned thriver. I love that part. A master certified life coach, a certified nervous system trainer, a self inquiry coach, and a trauma informed yoga teacher with over 15 years of experience empowering women to embrace their truth and reclaim their strength. She's awesome, isn't she? That resume is stacked. So let's welcome Danielle Young to the stage.
Thank you.
So Danielle, we're going to break this down in a way that's practical, easy to understand, and most importantly, helpful for everyday life. So give the audience a little bit more information about you.
Yeah, so I am, aside from what you just said in that amazing intro, I'm also the owner of Inspired Action Wellness. I am an author. I'm releasing a book here probably within the next few weeks.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm super excited. And I am also a speaker. I speak on nervous system and other various topics relating to the body.
Okay, awesome. And I think it's important because this is a topic that people very rarely will relate to their mental health and well-being. So I know the information you're going to give us today is going to be not just impactful, but very, very powerful to help people with their mental wellness. Y'all ready to dive in? Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so we're about to start trying to figure out how to understand the nervous system and stress. So many people think that stress is just mental, right? But it's actually stored in the body. That's what I teach my clients all the time. So
Yeah.
can you explain how the nervous system reacts to stress and how this impacts our mental health?
Yeah, so you're correct. Trauma and stress is held in the body, not in the mind. And a lot of us think that it's just a mental thing, but it's not. So when we go into like a tense state, our body goes into, we start activating our sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight.
Mm-hmm.
And when that is activated, our heart starts beating faster, muscles tense, we release cortisol, we release adrenaline, we release norepinephrine. That all sticks in the body. That all stays. And when you're going through that, when all of that's released, it is, and you're tense, it's really hard to have mental clarity when your body is physically prepared for danger. And it's this cycle where physical tension makes mental stress worse and vice versa.
Right. That's good because it is a cycle, right? If they don't get a grasp on it. And I think one of the major premises behind Girl Talk Mental Health is education. So a lot of times people don't know certain things. So that's why we have our special guests like Danielle to help inform you all about your body and how it relates to mental health. So what about recognizing the signs of nervous system dysregulation? How can someone tell if their nervous system is stuck in the fight or flight mode that you just mentioned?
So there's quite a few ways, but the simplest ways are if you notice your shoulders are like up here all the time and you can't physically relax, you can't physically, just kind of hang loose. You have digestion issues, headaches, like frequent headaches. That's another sign. You catch yourself like holding your breath. You're not able to take a deep breath in, or you catch yourself just very shallow breathing. You startle easily. Like if you hear just like a random noise, you're like, whoa, like what was that? You have a heightened startle response. Your jaw's often tight. Sometimes if we're under like an extreme amount of stress, we'll clench our jaw in our sleep. So you'll wake up and, your TMJ will be really tight. Those are pretty much the big ones, finding it hard to focus. If you're checking your phone all the time, that's another little way.
So what is like a little small everyday one that people probably have a lot, but they don't really relate it to their nervous system and their stress and mental health levels?
Gut issues.
Gut issues?
Gut issues. Yeah. Any type of, like if you have heartburn, if you have bloating, gas, if you notice that you eat something and your body negatively reacts to it, that is a sign of stress. That and muscle tension.
Yeah, that's some good ones that we don't mention, especially the stomach ache. Like a lot of people probably go home from work because the stomach start hurting and they don't really realize that it's, stress or the nervous system. They're like, oh my goodness, my stomach is cutting up. I have to go home. I have diarrhea or something.
Yeah. It's so common, but we don't relate the two. We think, oh, maybe I ate something bad or, but no, it's like, my stomach really hurts. Like I'm stressed, now when my stomach hurts, I'm like, oh, I need to chill.
Absolutely. Relax, relate, release. That's the old saying. Relax,
Exactly.
relate, release.
Yep.
So let's help our audience with some techniques to reset and regulate their nervous systems. So you talk about some simple ways to regulate the nervous system, but can you share a few powerful techniques that anyone can start using today to feel calmer?
The first one, the big one that I recommend for everybody is breathing. I am a huge advocate for sitting in a quiet space and just taking deep breaths. Hand on the heart, hand on the belly, and just inhale and make your exhale longer than your inhale. So if you inhale for 4, exhale for 6. If you inhale for 5, exhale for 7. And, you can do that several times, even before, when you get to work and you're sitting in your cubicle and your day's about to start and you're going to get bombarded as soon as you turn on your computer. Just sit there for 30 seconds and just close your eyes and just have that moment of breath. Go
ahead.
Oh, the other one that I recommend is it is tapping. So if you notice that you're getting, high stress, high anxiety, I like to do what's called butterfly tapping. And you can do it like this, or you can cross your hands and do it, but it's right here at the collarbone. And you bilaterally tap. So it's side to side, or you can do it like this. It doesn't matter. I like to cross my hands and then just close your eyes and just breathe and just do this for a few seconds. And you can do that multiple times a day, or you can even tap on your arms. You can, it doesn't matter. It's just bilateral tapping. You do it on your knees too. That's actually an EMDR technique where it's bilateral and it forces the brain to focus on both sides instead of just one or the other.
Is that part of the nervous system too, and being able to focus on both sides instead of the
Yep.
fight and flight response?
Yeah, because your brain can focus on like one thing at a time. So when you are going off in different directions, that's what's creating the chaos in your mind. That's what's creating your body to get into that fight or flight, into that, tense, excuse me, to that tense state. So if you're tapping, it's activating both sides of your brain.
Mm.
So your brain can't focus on spinning out. It's focusing on what's happening on either side of your body.
And tapping has become a more acceptable or phenomenal. I don't know which word to use, but I've had a few guests who are talking about tapping a lot. So a lot of people don't know about the tapping
Yeah.
as much as they should to help regulate, especially if you're at work,
Hmm.
or in an environment where you can't just, sometimes you don't want people to know you're doing these deep breathing exercises or whatever. But
Right.
tapping is something that they could do like low key, where it doesn't seem so odd and unusual, and then
Yeah.
they can still regulate their nervous system to calm down.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're sitting at your desk, you can just tap your knees, just gently bilaterally tapping. And you don't have to do it for very long. I mean, you can do it for 30 seconds,
Okay.
or you can do it for however long you want till you start to feel calmer. I mean, it's one of those things where you can do anywhere. You can do it in the bathroom. You can sit there and tap your knees.
Hmm.
It's a great technique.
Okay. Well, that's powerful. And so we're halfway through the show for today. So let's have a quick commercial break, and then we will be back with Miss Danielle Young with some more powerful and impactful ways that you can calm yourself in the chaos.
Welcome to the Girl Talk Mental Health. Do you ever feel like you're running on empty? Stuck in the same cycle? Or just trying to keep it all together? You're not alone. Stress, depression, burnout, and self-doubt are real, but they don't have to control your life. Imagine feeling empowered, balanced, and truly at peace. At Girl Talk Mental Health, we're diving deep into the real conversations that help you heal, grow, and thrive. From breaking stigmas to actionable strategies, we're here to empower you to take back control of your mental wellness and reclaim your time, your energy, and your joy. Follow us now for expert insights, uplifting conversations, and the tools you need to transform your life. It's time for a real talk with real impact. Girl Talk Mental Health. Real conversations, real change. Follow us today at Virginia Dell Manning.
So, welcome back to our second half of Girl Talk Mental Health with our powerful special guest, Miss Danielle Young, and she's telling us everything that we need to know about our nervous system and how it can help us to regulate our stress, burnout, all of those mental health symptoms so you can live a life of calm and peace.
Mhm.
So, Miss Danielle,
Yeah.
so to regulate your calm and your peace and dealing with the nervous system, which is a part of your body, sometimes you need those long-term strategies because sometimes people, they want to do something quick and hit and miss, and they're not consistent, and that helps for a more balanced nervous system because it has to be long-term. So for someone who's constantly dealing with stress, anxiety, burnout, depression, all of those mental health symptoms, what are some long-term strategies they can use to create lasting nervous system balance?
So the body loves consistency. And it loves predictability. So anything that you can do that is consistent and predictable. Sleep is a huge one. So if you can go to sleep at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every morning, even on weekends. That creates a consistent pattern that your body will really enjoy. I'm also a huge proponent for mindfulness and mindful moving. Yoga. I started doing yoga when I started on my healing journey, and that was the best thing for me to help calm my nervous system. And even now, there's times when I'll start spinning out, and even though I have all of these tools, I'll go straight to my mat, and I'll just go into child's pose, or I'll go into, just laying on my mat and just breathing. Another big thing that I like is get outdoors, walk in grass barefoot. I know right now it's winter, but if you can go and just be in nature, that really helps with grounding and with calming your nervous system. And then, once the snow clears and the ground thaws and, you can get out there, really walk in the grass barefoot. It's the best grounding technique. I know that it sounds kind of woo-woo, but it is. And because you are connecting with the earth and your body, it's so grounding for your body to feel that connection. And then body work like somatics, even massage can be great. EMDR, I'm a big proponent for that stuff as like long-term strategies.
Okay, that's good. So what is you gave us a lot of tips and a lot of tools and some things that you do as well. So what's your one biggest go-to that you use on a regular basis for helping to calm your nervous system?
The one thing that I do a lot of yoga. I'll be honest, I do a lot of yoga. When I can't do yoga, my next biggest is the breathing.
Okay.
or the tapping. I'll do I'll be making coffee in the morning and I'll wake up feeling kind of stressed for whatever reason, and I'll just stand there and while my coffee's brewing, I just breathe.
I know a lot of people don't have the patience to breathe,
right?
And that affects your nervous system in itself, right? Having patience.
Yeah,
It's a sign that something is amiss in the nervous system.
Right. So yeah, if you're thinking I can't do that, that's exactly why you need to do it, because that is a sign. If there's resistance,
Absolutely.
it's something that you need to do.
So before we go into our spotlight question, is there anything else you want to enlighten the audience with about the nervous system and how to calm the chaos in their life?
Yeah, I would just say, start small. My grandma used to say, small puddles make big streams. When you are working with your nervous system, it likes small changes. If you do big changes, you're just going to keep continuing to get overwhelmed. And then, the long-term solutions go out the window. So to make that shift, just, small 30 seconds here and there. I would rather see someone do like 30 seconds of something 5 times a day than 20 minutes 1 time a day. You're more likely to be consistent if you just can fit in the small things.
Right.
So that is, and 30 seconds is doable for anyone.
Right.
I don't care how busy your day is. You have 30 seconds for your health.
Because we take 30-minute breaks all day long when we're at work.
Yeah. Like I said, that coffee brewing, there's your cue to do some breathing, to do some tapping, to, do some mindfulness, to do some stretching,
All of the above.
It's available.
All right. That brings us into our spotlight question. All right. So, Danielle, tell us, what's one mindset shift or action step you believe could transform how we approach mental health and wellness in our daily lives?
I would say it's the small shifts. Yeah. it's like I said, the big things, no one has time for that, especially today.
Mm-hmm.
So the more that we make the small shifts, the more that the bigger things coming, the stress that's going to get thrown at us,
Mm-hmm.
the better we'll be able to deal with it.
Right.
Because if you don't get your nervous system regulated, you won't, it's just going to keep piling on and piling on and piling on. And eventually that's what causes burnout. That's what causes nervous breakdowns. That's what causes a lot of mental health issues, is just that piling on.
Mm-hmm.
So regulate in any way that in any small way that you can, and it will be hugely impactful in the future.
Good. That's some good information. And I'm just in awe. Like, I'm like, wow, this is some powerful conversation. And we want to thank you, Danielle, for sharing these eye-opening insights, for just letting us get into your brain, the wealth of information that you have about the nervous system. You're obviously an expert in it, especially with the yoga, and then you're certified trainers. So you're doing your thing, and you're helping us to learn how to control our nervous system for better mental health. Now, we want to hear some things about you, what you have going on, how can they connect with you after the day, how they can continue, being in the midst of your plethora of information. So tell them how they can connect with you more, and if you have any special offer, anything for them today.
Yeah, so my website is probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. It is inspiredactionwellness.com. I have a ton of information on there. There's actually a free guide on the website. It's Healing After Trauma, 3 Ways to Reclaim Your Power. I have some speaking engagements coming up soon that are virtual, that anyone can join. That information will be up on my website, I'm hoping today. And then my book is also on my website. It's about my journey from domestic violence survivor to thriver, and it's kind of a roadmap for anyone who is in that situation right now, or wants to get out of an abusive situation, or is out and wants to overcome the trauma. There's tons of resources in there.
And yeah, the domestic violence for sure could be a part of how to calm the chaos, right? That's a big one. And the
Yep.
nervous system. So yeah,
Yeah.
kudos to you for that, because there's a lot of domestic violences. Seem like, I don't know if it's just more in the news or if it's more on the rise. And I know that men are becoming more victims of domestic violence as well. So you have your hands full. I'm a survivor of domestic violence myself, so I can totally understand, the struggle from going from chaos to calm when you're in a domestic violence situation. So we appreciate that information. We appreciate you gracing us on the stage today with your information. And if you want more information, just connect with her. You can connect with me, Virginia Dale Manning. You can go to the E360 TV, where you can view this recording over and over again. And we want to know. Let us know. Like, we want some feedback. So what's one thing that you learned today that you're excited to try? You can drop it in the comments. You can send a DM to me. You can reach out to Danielle Young as well. And don't forget that this is March. So we on our Good Night series, and this is just the beginning of the Good Night series, to help you find some calm and cool and relaxation within your life, so you can have a good night's sleep. Okay, so take the advice of Danielle. Anything else you want to tell us before we close out today, Danielle?
You can also find me on social media. I'm on everything but X. I'm under @Inspired Action Wellness. So Instagram, Facebook, Threads. What's the other one? LinkedIn. And TikTok.
All social media.
Social media.
You can't even name them and count them. It's just all social media, okay, including YouTube and everywhere else.
I'm on YouTube too.
YouTube, LinkedIn.
There's so many. Yeah, I'm on them all except for X, but Inspired Action Wellness.
Okay. All right. So thank you all for tuning in to another impactful episode of Girl Talk Mental Health. I want you to hit the subscribe on my YouTube, follow and link up with Danielle. just keep yourself in the midst of everything that you need so that you can live a peaceful and calm life today. Manage your mental health. It's been wonderful, and we'll see you next week for another powerful episode where we'll continue talking about ways to stress less in a busy world. So see you all next week.
Thank you for joining us for Girl Talk Mental Health. Remember, your mental health is your wealth. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to at Virginia Del Manning.